Hi. I thought I'd go over all my clothes more thoroughly and list off why I chose them, pros and cons to everything, things like that. So here we go. First off, well, I didn't arrange this in any order, but underwear's on top. These are the ExOfficio boxers. I like boxers, they're a little looser. And the one thing I've learned from marathon running is if the inseam, if there's a stitch right in the middle, it's gonna give you a little chafing on your inner thigh. And the nicer shorts put fabric. It's hard to see in the black, but there's fabric there instead of a stitch. So what happens is your thigh rubs the fabric together like that, and your thigh is actually rubbing against fabric, not stitching. I'll show you a better example with my running shorts, but it's pretty important. People don't notice that, but that's part of the reason that it helps avoid chafing. So that's that. These are way heavier than I thought when I first got them. They weigh a whopping 3.7 ounces. Just for that. Anyway, off to the side. Here are my running shorts. These are the Brooks Sherpas. And I'll probably wear these later once my legs get tanned enough where they're not going to just burn like crazy. Of course they're for running, so they have a little pocket here. So I have to actually cut out that zipper, otherwise the backpack's just going to rub me raw. But like I said with the boxers, here you'll see a better example. There's fabric here. The cheap shorts will have an inseam or a seam right there. So with the fabric there again, your thighs will be touching fabric. So it's much nicer. Here's the inside view. So it costs more to put in that little fabric because it'll be one more piece of stitching. Oops. It'll be one more piece of stitching. So the cheaper shorts won't have it. So something to look at. But another thing to consider with the technical fabric is they will smell after a while. I have learned that from running as well. And even if you buy the special fabric soap, it doesn't help. So after a while, you're just gonna have to pitch it. So I do have several more of these, and I could have my sister mail me new ones if they smell too bad. These are the Solomon Cairn synthetic shirt. It weighs 4.85 ounces. It's imbibed with that Polygiene material. So it's synthetic, but it has a microbial element to it, so it should not smell as bad after a while. I'll wear this probably most likely, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's kind of heavy, so if I'm not wearing it and I'm just wearing a shirt like that, I don't know. I'll keep it though. It's good to have two shirts. This is kind of pricey. The Polygiene treatment isn't brand specific. There's a whole bunch of different brands that use it. So look for it if you look for anything synthetic, and maybe it'll help. I'll let you know how soon it starts smelling though. This is the REI Co-op Sahara Tech Plaid. The reason I got this over the Columbia's is I like that the vent's higher up, so the backpack isn't gonna shut off any vents, and it has these nice vents here. And the purpose of this really is for the desert portion. If you go with the t-shirt, you're just gonna evaporate water like crazy, so you're gonna have to drink more. And this also helps prevent burning, so maybe my farmer's tan won't get super bad. That's why I switched to the Solomon. That's all there is to it. It's kind of heavy. It does have pockets here. It's not stretchy at all. So I did wear this when I went to Mount Rainier. I wore this almost every day, and I slept with it most days too, and I didn't feel anything too uncomfortable even with it being pretty tight. But pretty comfy, nice little arm pocket for, I don't know, lip balm or something. That's it. This is the ZPacks Rain pants. They don't sell this one anymore. They sell the Virtus one. And I do like that when you order it, you can order like width and length. and I'm a shorter guy, so I had a medium short. Fits perfectly. It weighs only 3.7 ounces. There's no pockets on it or anything like that. Alright, so it's still a little dirty from my last trip. Just dirt. But the zippers on the bottom are big enough that you can leave your shoes on as you take them on and off. It's hard to do when you're standing, but it's not bad. I like it plain. It's waterproof. The case it's mostly for wind that I'm taking this, but if it does rain in the desert, at least my pants will be covered and my legs won't get too wet. And it does provide extra warmth if my pants do get wet, so it's pretty nice. I like this a lot. Highly recommend. Although you can only get the Vertis thing now, but this is just a cheap Condor fleece hat. They're only like $8. You can get them anywhere on Amazon pretty cheap. But I found they're really warm and they're super soft, and they're a little bigger than my head, so I like to lower them. If you go to sleep, I like to do this when I go to sleep too. And it fits pretty well. So, yeah. Alright. For hiking socks, I brought 2 Darn Tough hiking medium socks. They're the hiking cushion. They're not cushion, but they're not light. So they do have a good little bit. And I'm bringing 1 lightweight. And it's thinner on top and thicker on the bottom. So it has a little bit of cushioning. And I like the lower part for the socks. Now, if you don't know about Darn Tough socks, you're probably not a hiker. Although, yeah. But anyway, so they're pricey for socks, but they have a lifetime warranty basically. So if you wear holes into them, you can send them back or go to a retailer that does the exchange and you can get new ones. And supposedly even if mice chew through it, they'll do it. And the people on YouTube, they say they've had success trading them in. So I like them because they're soft. They're made of mostly merino wool. And I don't know, my feet do really well in them, so that's what I've been using for a long time now. So I got a bunch of these. These are Darn Tough Gaiters. Now, of course, they're in the bag because I haven't put them on. They just go over the top of your shoe. Well, you stick your leg in there, but you go over the top of your shoe, and they just help keep all the rocks and twigs out of your shoe so you don't have to keep stopping. They do stick on to the back of your shoe with some Velcro. So I'll have to somehow figure out a good way for it to stick and not peel off, because it's all soft here. I don't know how to get it to stick. Maybe I'll put on some epoxy and then put some Velcro on there to really stick. I don't know. I wish it was a little harder. This is the only reason I thought about getting the Ultras, because they have a little Velcro flap in there. Just stick it in there. But let's see. We got a pair. This is a wind jacket from ZPacks. This is 2.1 ounces. Folds up super tiny, because it is 2.1 ounces. And it is basically see-through. Can you see me? Ah. So all this is for wind protection. It'll help keep the heat on your clothes in. It's not rainproof, so if it rains and you don't have anything else, you're kind of screwed. I decided not to bring my rain jacket, which is the ZPacks Vertex I have, because it weighs 6.45 ounces. I figured I'd save a little over 4 ounces this way. That way I can carry other silly heavy things. But a lot of people report they don't get rained on much at all on the PCT. So I'm just going to bring this until maybe Northern California, and I'll swap it in for my rain jacket maybe before I hit the Sierra Mountain Range. But if you're curious, I do have rain pants on, and I will be carrying this the whole time. So there are recent posts on Facebook about people getting rained on. But between this and all else fails, I have my footprint. I'll just wrap it around my body and then it should all slough off. But I'm pretty sure I'll be alright. We'll see. You can make fun of me if I'm miserable. This is the Outdoor Research Sunrunner hat. It weighs 2.75 ounces. It has this whole shebang going on. I'm not sure how much I'll need it. We'll see. But I don't like getting my neck burned, but I'll have my umbrella for most of it. I guess this is good. I don't know, we'll see. These are my pants. These are the Columbia convertible pants. And this is the belt that came with it. I actually like this belt. I've tried other belts before. When they're too thick, they rub into your skin. And they kind of cut in after a while. But these are comfy, and this isn't too big, so I'm not worried about it rubbing a hole in my jacket when the waist strap is rubbing. So it's pretty nice. Bunch of pockets on them. It's okay. And then here's the convertible part with the zipper. Now, one thing I found really useful, I will treat this with permethrin. One thing I found really useful is one time I was hiking in northern Wisconsin. It was May. There were a lot of ticks. A lot of ticks. It was pretty bad. But what I found was when I got back to my car after an overnight is there were tons of ticks all under here. I guess they climbed up, got into this area and couldn't figure out how to go higher. They were all along here. And they were all mostly dead, or almost dead, so I just kind of flicked them off. But there were a ton of them on both sides. So I don't know if this was at all planned, but it really helps you against the ticks going all the way up. So something to think about. As long as you treat it. If you don't treat it, they're probably eventually going to figure it out way out, because they are fast little guys. And this guy is a Shemagh. You know what? It's cotton. It's 100% cotton. When it's warmer, it's not so bad. When it's drier, it's not so bad. When it's cold but dry, it's not so bad. It's just when it's wet. And I will be switching this out for something else when I get to mid-Oregon, maybe Washington, because I know it can get really wet up there. Cool thing with this is it's got a really light weave to it. I don't know if you've played with these before. There's a pretty light weave. It's easy to breathe through. Because it's got a light weave, it's also kind of thicker, although the material's real thin. So it's good insulation, so when you're cold you can wrap it around your head. It's quite warm. Good for around the neck. And they are, well, kind of double-sided. Well, isn't everything double-sided? So one side is lighter than the other. See how this side's thick, darker? This side's lighter. So when it's hotter, you can have the lighter weave out, and then if you decide it's getting colder, you can have the darker weave out. Maybe absorb some more sunlight. So it's pretty nice. Hardly anybody takes these. Whatever. Alright. These are my shoes. Asics Venture. They are much bigger than I need them. But I usually wear like 8.5. These are 9.5. But I've been hiking with them for a while now and they have plenty of room. They're one of the only brands now that sell shoes that fit with the width of my feet. If I wear other shoes, the outsides hurt so much on both sides. I even tie them shoelaces all special to relieve that pressure, but it doesn't work. So I'll stick with these. I'll have to say, I wish they had Vibrams, because on my trip to the Smoky Mountains, I wore Asics, and I was slipping and falling more than average, probably. I don't know if that's just me. But anyway, but when you slip and fall, you get to take a break. Yeah, this here is the insoles. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. I don't know how many pairs, but anytime they're on sale, like really good sale, I'll buy a couple. And I'll always wear them. I usually have to cut them off. With these shoes, it's nice. I can just stick them right in. I'm going to have my sister mail me a pair every now and then. And I was joking. It would be horrible if she sent me like 2 left ones or something. Can you imagine if you're like, oh, I got my new insoles. Anyway, so I'll have to maybe rubber band them or something so that doesn't happen. I trust her though, but who knows, anything can happen. These are all the warmer clothes I've thought about taking or have taken on trips. And which one I'll take? I'll show you. This is the ZPacks fleece. It's very light. Of course, as with fleece, it doesn't pack very small. It's not as warm, I thought, as some of these, but it is nice that if it's wet, it'll still function fine. And if you have this on underneath like a rain jacket, the water wicks right out. It stays super warm, and the outside will be slightly moist, but works great. But I will not be taking. I dropped it on the computer. I will not be taking that with me on this trip. And I do have a Ghost Whisperer, and I will say it's not as warm as I would think, considering the cost and how many people like them. It's okay. It's just not as warm. And there's a YouTube channel named Hiker Oregon. She didn't like it because his shoulders kind of compressed down. There's pressure there. And the problem is if you pull on it, it'll compact it down so the shoulders will get cold. I don't know, even holding this up I can see light right through it. Especially in between the baffles, because it's not double baffled. Where I'm sticking my finger is where there's a stitch on the other side, so cold air gets right through those sections. I don't know. Then I have my REI Co-op, and I've used this on a few trips, and I thought it was really warm. It's much warmer, I think, than the Ghost Whisperer. Just no hood on this one, and I cannot see the light through it. Stitching is in the same spot, but I cannot see the light through it at all. Although it is black, so maybe that's helping. And then here's what I'll be taking with me. This is the Enlightened Equipment. What's it called? Here's what I'll be taking with me. This is the Enlightened Equipment Torrid Apex. I think it has the same problem as the Ghost Whisperer with the shoulder, but it's synthetic. I think it's more resilient to pressure, although when you squeeze it, it does compact pretty tightly. Feels thicker. The reason I like this jacket is the synthetic material. They're just sheets of synthetic material in here, so there's no stitching to create baffles to hold it down in. So there's no gaps. It's all one big sheet of insulation, and then insulation here. And if I hold it up to the light, it's all, I could see the light through it, but it's all even, and it's still pretty thick. I found this to be much warmer than all of them so far. This jacket is 9.5 ounces, so it doesn't win the lightest award, but it's also synthetic, so you don't have to worry about when you wash it, how you care for it, things like that. But I really like this jacket. I haven't taken it anywhere yet, but I'm excited to try it out. Here it is. I will say the arms are super thick. Like, my arms aren't big at all, but whoa, it's firm. That way there's no wasted air in there, but it's really puffy. I'm already getting hot and I just put this on. Although that light doesn't help. Right? It's a pretty nice, warm jacket. And there's even pockets. Where's that? Chest pockets. Woo! I gotta take it off. Here is the REI Co-op. The lantern is right behind. And there's nothing, can't really see anything. I set the ISO and white balance to be manual. You can't really see anything. I don't know if it's because the fabric's thicker. Here's the Ghost Whisperer. Look at that funky down up there. You can see along the seams, it's super bright. You lose a lot of heat right along the seams. I wish they would layer it so one side had one baffle here, so there's always constant down. Pretty boring, because it's just one big sheet. I do believe because the fabric is thinner, you can definitely see the light through it, but it just kind of all over, but there are no seams. There's one thing I learned from the Marine Corps is if you wear camouflage clothes or dirt colored clothes or plaid colored clothes, dirt doesn't show on them as easily. So if you get some permanent stains on here, it kind of hides a little better than a solid color shirt. And this is kind of like sweat stained already. Sweat and sand stained. So I know I'm gonna look grungy, but I thought I'd try to fight it a little bit. You know why I got these Dirty Girl Gaiter colors and patterns? Well, there's blue flame on it. And if something has flame on it, it's gonna go faster, right?